Happy Goku Day, and hello there, Dragon Ball fans from all around the world. I'll be your host for this video, Big D here at Geekdom 101, and it is Goku Day. That's right, it's the official holiday, May 9th in Japan. We found out it was an official holiday just a couple years ago, so I thought it would be cool if I did a quick little discussion here about our favorite memories of Goku. Now, this is not going to be like a top 10 list or anything like that. It's going to be mostly just memories and thoughts of the main character of Dragon Ball, Son Goku, and what he's meant to us throughout the years. Now, joining me on this discussion, the original beautiful friend, a guy who's a real pillar of our fandom. I know a lot of you guys have missed hearing his voice, and he is back, and he is a huge fan of Dragon Ball, obviously, and a huge fan of Goku himself. Please welcome back BLACKENFIST. I'm so happy to talk to you one more time.
I am so happy to be here to greet and impart my own opinions onto all around the world. The beautiful friends, I am back.
We're big time now, Juan, bro. We're big time.
And, yeah, we're big time here. You know what? But we're here to get down to business. This is an official holiday for Goku, as it should be. His rightful place in the world has finally been etched.
That's right. It is an official holiday in Japan. And now, let's talk about Goku. And also, before we go any further, please feel free to leave your Goku memories and favorite Goku moments in the comments. This video is not scripted. We're just going to have a discussion and just go from there. So, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, and Dragon Ball Super. Or Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball GT. Take your pick. Best Goku memories. Look, there's all kinds of awesome ones as far as like his fights, his transformations, and all that. So many of them. I'm going to start out with, I think, probably the most emotional moment in Dragon Ball, and that is Goku being reunited with his grandpa. Like, I so love this scene. Doesn't matter what dub you're watching. This scene, I've seen this scene make grown folks cry.
Well, it definitely is like an emotional moment because it's like we've heard about his grandfather, and we even heard about his death. So actually being able to see him, I mean, it's something that, and this is of course before Dragon Ball got on the whole like, oh, people die and come back and we get to go to the afterlife. This is way before that. So I mean, obviously the assumption is we'll never see this guy again. So it's a big emotional payoff to the end of an arc. It's very interesting actually to see like how Goku reacts actually seeing his like parental figure again. I think that it's definitely in early Dragon Ball.
Bro.
Yeah, dude. In earlier Dragon Ball, I think that this is probably one of the more powerful emotional moments. Although I think there are more powerful emotional moments in Dragon Ball involving Goku, but I guess we'll get to that.
Well, I was going to ask you, is this the only time Goku ever cried? Because I can't remember him crying at any other time.
You know what? That's a good question. It could be.
I mean, except for when he's a baby. When he's like a baby
well,
in the
yeah,
Bardock
yeah,
special,
well,
obviously. Yeah.
Obviously, that would... Yeah, but that could be the... You know, that's actually something I never noticed before, now that you pointed it out. Maybe...
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, it's pretty warranted. It's a very special scene that has a lot of significance.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only relative that he's ever known, and he sees him one more time. Like, how many people out there who have lost a loved one would love to hang out with them one more time for one day? Now, what was the moment you're talking about that, or some of the ones that you felt are more powerful emotionally featuring Goku?
Well,
like the sacrifices, or is there something else?
Well, I think that there's one of them is one of my favorite moments in all of Dragon Ball, period, and it's the death of Bora. Now, the reason I say the death of Bora is a Goku moment is because this is like in this series, so many things are going on with Goku. Remember, Goku was on a quest to find the Dragon Balls, right? To reclaim the heirloom that his grandfather had bestowed upon him. And this, as his quest went on, he ran across this kid and his father died. And he set all that aside. He set his own desires. He set his own quest.
Yes,
he set his
it
own.
was very unselfish.
He set his own thing. And you know what? It was also it was also like a visceral reaction. I just love it when he came up right to Tao Pai Pai's face, man, with that vengeance. It was not maybe as strong as when Krillin died, but it was similar. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it wasn't as loose cannon, but you could feel like the emotion, that raw emotion that Goku had in that moment, and it was that like that sense of justice needing to be, you know, prevailing and everything. And I thought that was such an interesting Goku moment because it, as for his character development, because I feel like this would eventually entail the type of character he would become as a man. So I thought that was a very interesting Goku moment for his, you know, for his character development.
And don't forget, another moment like that is the classic scene where Ten Shinhan's fighting King Piccolo, and then Goku shows up to save him, and they play that awesome. And it's great in the anime or in the manga too, but in the anime it's so epic. That awesome Kikuchi song, that dun 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun dun. And then he has that face. He makes that classic face. If you've read the manga or seen the anime, you know what face I'm talking
If we're
about.
speaking of
And he literally kicks, what was it, Drum? I think he kicks Drum's eyeballs out of his sockets.
Yeah, complete clean off, man. And if we're talking about Kenkuchi music, I mean, the music that he used for the Boris death scene, I mean, I think that's one of Kenkuchi's.
Yeah, that's one of your
That's one of my
favorites.
favorite pieces of Kenkuchi's soundtrack.
Now, speaking of music, all right, where do you rank? And we got to be fair here. The SS3 transformation, another great moment that fans bring up against Majin Buu. We've got both the Japanese scores epic, then you've got Julius Dabosh doing the English music for the English dub, which I think is like my favorite Facunder production score ever. You know, that's got to be one where I don't care what dub you watch that scene in, it's amazing. You know, kudos to Masako Nozawa, Sean Schemmel, and freaking Mario Castañeda, because they screamed their asses off in the booth for that.
You know what? I actually have seen the Spanish version of that scene. It actually is pretty good. I remember watching that scene, like, because it's like one of the most significant scenes. That's probably, I guess you could really say, the most iconic. Well, maybe not iconic, but it's definitely maybe the most popular moment in all of Dragon Ball, you could argue, and definitely the most popular Goku moment. I mean, is there really a singular Goku moment that is more popular than that one, the Super Saiyan 3 transformation?
The only one I can think
I don't
of,
think so.
The Frieza.
That was the only one. Yeah, that's
one.
the only. That was the.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of hesitated with iconic, but that might be the only thing that can rival it. But yeah, I saw that scene in so many languages, and I definitely remember if my memory serves me correctly, the Mexican and German dubs really stood out to me.
Yeah, no, any dub you watch, you screaming is real in any language. Don't forget also, I mean, there's so many of them, bro. Goku picking up Nappa with one hand, and then later on Birder, and like the fact that he shows up on the cloud, and like his entrance, and him doing the Kaioken, like that whole scene is just, you know, spine-tinglingly great, bro. Everything. I mean, that sequence where Goku arrives on Namek, and he steps out of the ship, and they play that dun dun dun,
Oh yeah.
dun dun dun. Right, and he's like looking around, and he's like, he senses Frieza, he senses Ginyu, and then he's like, "Where's Gohan?" He's like, "I don't sense Gohan." And then he's like, "Hold on, boy," and then the Kaioken flares up. Oh, I got goosebumps right now thinking about it, bro.
Yeah.
Then the elbow, of course.
Well, I also want to bring up. I mean, in a video about, if we're talking about Goku moments, I think that we have to, in my opinion, bring up Goku's most singularly heroic moment, in my opinion, which is the sacrifice that he did in the Cell arc when, you know, he transported Cell to King Kai's planet. I think that is singularly the most heroic move. You know, saving the planet in one fell swoop without even thinking about it, sacrificing himself, and, you know, giving that heartfelt goodbye to Gohan. I think that definitely ranks. I mean, if you're talking about Goku moments, that's definitely one of my favorite Goku moments, one of the most significant ones in the series. And in my opinion, probably the most heroic thing that Goku ever did, honestly, in the whole series, in my opinion.
And don't forget also, right after that, about 2 episodes later, that speech that he gives Gohan, bro. Tears in grown men got chopping onions when that scene.
Actually, if we spoke about tears earlier, and I mean, he didn't exactly shed tears, but it did look like he was a bit teary-eyed when Gohan defeated Cell. I mean, you could see it right in his eyes, and I felt like, yeah, man, you know what? Like, I really resonated with that, man, because you really don't see first of all, you don't see Goku cry, period. Let alone at least get watery eyed, which he did at the end there. So I thought that was actually pretty significant. I actually added to like the moment and the whole climax of the arc.
Another real emotional one too, bro. What about the scene where Goku comes to Earth after the 7-year time skip in the tournament and meets Goten for the first time, bro? That's another scene that freaking nails me, bro. That hits you right in the gut, bro. He sees his dad for the first time, bro.
Well, yeah, and also and everyone else as well. Yeah, I also like the Bruce Falconer song. It was the New Earth theme. It was.
The New Earth
the
theme.
Falconer Productions.
That's another Julius classic, bro. That's Julius.
I'm sorry, Julius.
Yes. Well, it's Falconer Productions, but it's Julius.
Falconer Productions.
The whole Boo arc was carried by Julius.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. It was. But yeah.
What other ones come to mind?
Well,
I mean, there's a few more I want to go through, but what do you have?
I think that one of the more interesting Goku moments ever was when he first went to the city too. Now, this is back in early Dragon Ball when he was trying to search for Bulma.
Early Dragon Ball.
I thought, like, first of all, I thought that his interactions of just being in, like, this, this city, like, an environment he's not used to with all these people and having all the misunderstandings. Like, he gets into a taxi and he doesn't understand the concept of money and, I think it's just hilarious. It's good fun, and it really showcases Goku's character at that point. I thought that was a very interesting episode. It was an interesting moment.
The Goku Piccolo fight's another one because we see his ingenuity. He climbs up Piccolo's arm and goes in his mouth. Like, the whole fight is just epic, but at the end when he finally delivers the headbutt, and don't forget that whole arc, the scene where we first see adult grown-up Goku for the first time, like, that's like iconic. That I don't think fans talk about that scene that much, and I think they should.
You know what? I don't know. Maybe it's like we're going maybe to the newer stuff, but I mean, the first time we saw Battle of Gods, back in 2013, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when he first transformed into that Super Saiyan God, I mean, I remember first seeing that. I mean, first of all, Battle of Gods was just because of course, we look back now, it's like, it
was a religious experience, bro.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, we got Super now, and we know the series ain't ending. I mean, but back then, we could have been like, this could have been one time and done, you know what I mean? And seeing Goku have a new transformation and, achieving this and battling a new foe, I thought that is also something that should be etched into the Goku, the annals of Goku history of him, first transforming into the Super Saiyan God. I think that has way more, probably more significance than Blue, honestly, because, first of all, it has way more significance because
Well, we saw him achieve Blue off screen though, or like first achieve it. So initially, I think that's
well.
Why.
It's not only that, but it was also the atmosphere of Battle of Gods itself enhancing it because it was like it was the first movie to come back in a while, and we didn't know at the time that like I said, it could have been one and done.
So, do you have any moments from Super that you think stand out? Because there's a couple for me. The Kaioken, of course, just total badass, against Hit. But I love a couple more I want to throw at you. The scene where Zamasu tells Goku what he did to his wife and kid in the alternate timeline, and even though it's not his actual wife and kid, it still hurt him, and he was like, screw you. Like, I love that scene. And another one, the scene where he's playing with Pan, bro. I love that, and I think it was the filler in between Universe 6 and Trunks. I love that scene.
No, man. You want to know what the greatest, even better than that is? So, it was etched in my head. It was that one little scene where Goku screamed and broke through I think it was Gohan's wall because he heard.
Oh yeah, the Kool-Aid spot.
Yeah, because he heard that Vegeta was training on Beerus's planet. I thought that. First of all, I thought that was probably. I want to say it was probably the funniest moment in all Super. So
I love that moment.
That little moment, man. It was so Goku. And because it's like they're trying to break, they're trying to hold him back in that room, and then Goku just breaks through it with. It was just perfect. It was in character. It was funny. It was a great little moment that I think isn't appreciated enough. Honestly,
I agree. No, I agree. Anything in GT that sticks out, except for, of course, the obvious one is the ending. The ending of GT where he says goodbye to all his friends. I don't care if you like that ending or not. I still think it was very, very touching, regardless of your opinion about the ending. That ending is crazy.
Well, I mean, honestly, the only other Goku moment that sticks out in my mind, and it's not like I have a positive opinion, but him turning into a kid. I mean, the one thing that shaped GT. To me, as far as significance, that's the only other moment. Maybe I'm missing one in there, but to me, that's the only one I can think of right now at the moment.
Well, let us know in the comments. There's too many Goku moments to discuss on one video. We could be here for an hour talking about this. Let us know in the comments if there's any Goku moments you think are your favorites. I'm probably gonna see a lot of like Goku versus Cell, Goku versus Frieza. I don't want to really focus on the fights. I want to focus more on the moments, like the epic moments that Goku has done. Again, I don't care if you watched it dubbed, subbed. It doesn't matter. Epic moments of Goku's life that gave you chills, whether it be that touched you emotionally, whether it be it got you excited, it made you cry. I really want people to comment what their favorite Goku moment is. And, of course, check out BLACKENFIST. I mean, I'm sure most people know who he is. He's been a pillar in our fandom for many, many years now. I would say, what, 7 years?
Well, I mean, I've been active. I mean, I've been a fan for longer than that. But,
Yeah.
You know, I would say maybe more closer to like 5-6 years. No, 5 years, kind of. Yeah.
First person I ever interviewed on Icons is BLACKENFIST. So
It
check
was an
him
honor,
out.
man.
Yes, thanks for being here, bro. And again, leave your comments for any more Goku moments. There's just so many. Like, we didn't even talk about like the moment where Goku beats, like, dude, one more. When Goku and Ten Shinhan have that double knockout where Tien wins, and then they both get lifted up on the shoulders. Dude, Dragon Ball could have ended right there, and I would have been happy.
Well, yeah. I mean, Dragon Ball could have ended in several places, honestly. But yeah, that could have been a pretty good bookend, honestly. Like, all the plots at that point were sealed. Of course, a little later, Krillin died, but if you just ignore that part, I mean, everything was wrapped up. No plot points, no loose plot points. Everything was done. Yeah. Bookend.
And even Goku punching a hole through freaking Piccolo. That's another great one, because he had he broke his arm, and then he fired the ki blast, and then, he punched right through him, and, there's so many. Anyways, leave us your comments. Thank you, BLACKENFIST, and we'll talk to y'all down the road.